Hi, my name is Travis Gray, and this is Travis Finds Out from a Regenerative Road Trip. Today, we are going to be learning about a cool art form called Suminagashi. Lots of cultures have a paper marbling style of art, but historians think that Suminagashi started it all. It was invented in Japan around 1150 AD. It was used to create backgrounds for poems and other paintings. Translated to English, it means floating ink, which is exactly what you do. You're floating the ink on water, letting it swirl around a bit, and then soaking that ink onto paper to make the amazing natural art that is never the same twice. While the Japanese used it to write poetry, kids nowadays can use the marbled paper to write notes to people, wrap presents, or just leave it like it is, as amazing art.
They don't do it in Japan anymore, though.
No?
It's an ancient art. It died out.
But you're still doing it.
You know, like there's things that aren't done, like we don't make butter in a butter churn. It's considered old-fashioned.
Yeah.
But people were fascinated that we were doing it when we were there.
When you get down to it, the Suminagashi is really simple. The first thing you're going to need to do is take a bottle of ink. You can choose whatever color you want. I'm using red. So you're going to take the bottle and squeeze it a little bit and let it do that.
I would say put the colors inside each other.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that if you get bored, but it's a good way to start. So you are in charge. Start, what color do you want to start with? You can bring it way down to the water surface. That is perfect. Now what I would do is I would go maybe yellow inside. Can I put something to show you something? I'm going to show you how to do it a little faster. You put yellow, and then orange, and then yellow, and then orange. You see how you're starting to get your circles? Mm-hmm. Now it's really up to you. The black is very substantial. You get a strong feeling from the black.
Now we're going to take a sheet of paper. And then we're going to lay the paper flatly on the piece of onto the water and wait a couple seconds. Okay, should be enough time. Pull the paper out, and voila. Yeah.
When you're working alone, you can make the tray as complicated as you like.
Whoa, that looks like a moon.
I mean, it's, you know, this is here to experiment with.
I'm trying to be a scientist to see what happens.
Say that again.
I'm trying to be a scientist to see what happens.
Well, of course. I think that part of what you'll see is that no matter what you do, it will go into a fractal shape. It will go into nature's shape of water. It's the same way like a river will do that.
I'm right.
Oh, look at that black thing right there. That's cool. Look at that black like horseshoe.
Yeah, you know, it's the greatest, that contrast, isn't it?
The second print in Suminagashi is called the ghost print, and sometimes it's really pretty because it can, it won't turn out the same as that because the water is always moving. Okay, can you do more than one ghost prints?
You can go for as long as you want, and then you'll find out when it's over.
Whoa!
This is your exquisite masterpiece. Look at that. I'll be darned. Came out so well. Let's put it out where we can see it. So I think you're starting to get to the end of your ghost prints here.
Because we can't write names on them.
Not until they're totally dry. Does your mom or your dad have an iron?
Yes.
Because you can iron them when they're done. When they're dry, you can iron them and they look very pretty when they're totally flat. Don't forget you can blow on it since we're inside if you need to. See, because you're getting these super cool, very delicate lines, right? Little breakout lines.
Wow, beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Whoa! Oops.
There's a really wet part, and I accidentally put good. That was wet part.
Yeah, you know, the one thing that's always a little bit annoying is the paper is not that strong, so you have to lift very gently.
And that is cool. I wonder what your two prints are going to look like.
Here's the thing, no one ever knows what it's going to look like. You think you know what it's going to look like, because when you start with the paper moves it.
Oh.
I've done this for a really long time. I can never get it exactly the way I want it, but that's part of what keeps me interested.
As you can see, every time is unique. Even if you want to, you can't have both of the same.
So I don't know if it's going to work, or if it's going to be weird, or what.
She just wants to
Where would you like so?
How about in the center?
Right? You brought Agate?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's see what I can get.
Whoa!
So there's a word for what that is. It's called repulsant. Turpentine is a repulsant, and soap is a repulsant. And also white ink functions as a repulsant.
Okay. You can add more swirls by letting the environment's wind take care of it. You can also use paintbrushes to stir it up, or a trick that Miss Miriam showed me, you can blow on it to make your own swirls. What you need to do Suminagashi at home is a baking pan filled about a half an inch up with water, a fine set of inks, and paper. I want to say thank you to Miss Miriam Sagan, the artist at residence here at Agate Fossil Beds, and to all of our supporters on Patreon. See you next time on Travis Finds Out.